quick updates here on some of the left-wing terrorists that we're still dealing with and continue to deal with. Taking a little step back to Luigi Mangione, the one that he assassinated, the United Healthcare CEO. A left-wing judge has decided to drop the terror charge against Luigi Mangione, which now will give him, instead of life without parole, it's life with the is now changed to life with possibility of parole. So another left wing judge trying to give let criminals out so they continue to harm people, as we already dealt with. A New York judge, shocker, has tossed Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's terrorism charges against suspected United Healthcare CEO assassin Luigi Mangione. The suspected killer appeared court Tuesday morning shortly after the NYPD warned that business leaders and political figures may be at an increased risk less than a week after the sniper shot and killed Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk during a public event at a Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. Mangione faces a slew of state and federal charges after police allege he stalked and ambushed Brian Thompson, the health insurer's chief executive and a married father of two from Minnesota who was visiting New York City for an investors conference. There was no evidence presented of a desire to terrorize the public. Really, he hunted a private citizen, tax-paying citizen down and shot him in cold blood. Where is the lack of terror in that? Inspire widespread fear, that also did that. Engage in a broader campaign of violence. He wanted to do more, and others wanted him to do more, or to conspire with organized terrorist groups. For all we know, he was talking to other people. We don't know that. Judge Gregory Caro found in a 12-page written decision. Here, the crime, the heinous but targeted and discreet killing, he did it on the street in front of everybody. This is why these judges are completely scum. They're out of their minds. They're so biased. You cannot rely on them to be fair and do their job properly. This is another guy that should be kicked off the bench. Discreet killing of one person. He did it in the street in front of everybody, but it was discreet. Is very different from the examples of terrorism set forth in the statute. The judge declined to rule on other pending motions, including whether Mangione is facing double jeopardy or on the legality of a controversial subpoena to his health insurance provider, Aetna. He's due back in court on December 1st. So the reduced charge, as I said, means Mangione no longer faces a maximum punishment of life imprisonment without parole. If convicted, he would face life with the possibility of parole. I mean, this piece of trash should rot in jail forever, not have the opportunity that if he's a good he's a good inmate, he might get out in 10 to 15 years. It shouldn't happen. So our leftist tranny-loving killer is coming into court. The Charlie Kirk assassin to make first court appearance and placed on special watch. The 22-year-old man suspected of assassinating conservative commentator Charlie Kirk was placed on special watch in a separate housing unit as he awaits his first court appearance on Tuesday. Authorities placed Tyler Robinson under the special watch status to keep a close eye on him as they evaluate his mental health, CBS. I'm sure he's fit as a fiddle. Robinson is scheduled to make his first court appearance at 3 p.m. and is expected to face an aggravated murder charge, which should make him eligible for the death penalty under Utah law if he's convicted. I've already said he should be killed live on TV. It should be a hanging. I think Utah has hanging. I think that's what you should do. And we haven't had a televised execution since, I think article said like 1988. President Trump should bring that back, especially for this one. The Utah County Attorney's Office said last week that formal charges will be filed on Tuesday before Robinson's arraignment, with a press conference scheduled for noon Mountain Time to explain those charges and the next steps in the case. Robinson is also expected to be charged with obstruction of justice and felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury. So they've been saying that he's been refusing to cooperate. They said that he had wanted to kill himself, and his parents and the pastor ended up stopping him from doing that, and he's been arrested, and now he's not speaking much about what he's done because he wanted to kill himself, even though the coward ran away, went to mommy and daddy's house and hid there. But the big boy wanted to kill himself. So just more far leftist trans radical violence. He was dating a tranny. that they were all furries, all mentally ill, gay men having sex with each other at these conventions, and also talking on Reddit and on strings that are just for these mentally ill people. And of course, the disgusting left are trying to turn around and say, no, he was a conservative and a Christian, and this was red on red violence and not what it actually is, because they're trying to distance themselves from what we already know. Transgender people are mentally ill. They're a danger. They should be in an institution receiving help, not set free on the whole world where innocent taxpayers end up having to deal with them in your day-to-day lives, and you hope that you can just get through your day without dealing with one of them. Okay, and then the third part of left-wing violence here is a Fox News van was nearly bombed. Radicals ended up attaching an explosive device underneath a Fox News van in the area in Utah. Here's a little bit of this with Benny Johnson.
About the government to identify, disrupt, dismantle, and destroy these networks. We will do it in Charlie's name, says Stephen Miller. How serious is all of this? Well, something that didn't really get a lot of coverage this past weekend was that in Utah, there was a terrorist event against Fox News. The FBI has arrested two for placing a bomb under a Fox News vehicle. The device prompted home evacuations as suspects are taken into custody. Let's read. FBI has arrested two men. Their bomb was found underneath a Fox 13 News vehicle in Salt Lake, according to official reports. The suspects, Adib Nasir, 58, and Adil Justice Ahmed Nasir, 31.
Oh, if you haven't heard more American names,
charges, including threat of terrorism, possessing weapons of mass destruction, and possessing explosive devices. Where are these two from? Are they here legally? Where exactly are these two from? I'd like to know their background. How did they get into this country? Exactly. No, like seriously, like are they on work visas? Are they citizens? Are they here illegally? Are they here for some type of extended program? Are they refugees? These are big questions. The device was found on Friday, September 12th, determined to be real. Fox 13 reported officials say the device had been lit but failed to function. So they lit a bomb to blow up a Fox News truck. Salt Lake City Police Bomb Squad, Unified Fire Authority, arson bomb squad located the device. This was parked next to an occupied building, so it could have clearly killed and maimed people terribly. Documents seen by Fox News Digital also show that because of the nature of the device and its placement, the incident constituted a significant threat to public safety. Obviously, the FBI's Salt Lake City office ultimately assumed jurisdiction over the search. Investigators traced the device back to the home where both suspects lived. You can see they have anti-Trump signage in their yards. Federal agents served a search warrant on the property. Bomb squad ensured it was safe. Inside, officers found two hoax weapons of mass destruction, firearms, bomb-making equipment, illegal drugs. Nearby homes in the neighborhood had to be evacuated. Investigators said that in addition to explosive materials, officers found firearms, firearm-related illegal narcotics, electronic devices, reasonably believed to contain evidence of the crime. Authorities said that the suspects' actions posed a significant risk to mass casualties. These individuals are being held in the Salt Lake.
So I don't know if they have, this was breaking news here on another network. I don't know if they have anything more comprehensive for it.
And there's breaking news coming in. Two men were arrested after an explosive device was found under a news media vehicle in Salt Lake City on Friday.
Now, the authorities do say these two men could face terrorism-related and weapons charges. Now, authorities also added that the two men were arrested on suspicion of placing an incendiary device under a vehicle related to Fox News local subsidiary.
And these developments are coming in from the U.S. in Utah. Salt Lake City officials said that the explosive had been lit but failed to function. They have been identified as Adib Ahmed Nasir and Adil Ahmed Nasir. As per reports, Adib Ahmed is from Pakistan. On Friday, police and fire department bomb squads.
So at least one of
responded
them's a
when suspicious
Pakistani.
device was found under the vehicle parked near an occupied building. According to court records, investigators determined the bomb had been lit but failed to function, as Jyotsna just mentioned.
Now, the FBI has identified two suspects that we just mentioned and served a search warrant at a home in Matna, west of the city's downtown. The two men aged 58 and 31 were arrested and can face charges related to weapons possession and threats of terrorism, ABC affiliate KTVX reported on Sunday.
There was no information about a possible motive behind this act, and the relationship between the two suspects wasn't immediately clear. News media have descended on Salt Lake City following last week's assassination.
Of course it's clear. They've got anti-Trump, anti-conservative stuff in front of their house, and they tried to blow up a Fox van, a Fox affiliate, which is a more conservative news site. But we're unsure of a motive. The suspects were said to have said, "Thank you, come again." But both of them have been arrested, and we're going to get more information on them. But this just plays to the radical left-wing violence, which if you go, I haven't been able to do it, but I've been seeing posts from other people. If you go on to Blue Sky, which is where all the left-wing nut jobs went when they didn't want to deal with X anymore because it became a free speech platform and they couldn't censor anyone anymore, they went over to Blue Sky and were absolutely celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. And not to mention, on top of that, they were actually making new lists of everyone that they wanted added to a kill list for people to go after. When I do another update, I'll show you some of those posts. You know, it's disgusting. They're out in the open. Conservatives, we're the bad guys. We're fascists. And we're trying to rule the country as dictators. But in the meantime, the left is very openly setting up kill lists on their sites that they're at of people. Candace Owens was on it. Elon Musk was on it. Ben Shapiro was on it, and many others were on it as well. So they can go over there now. Apparently, Blue Sky is actually starting to delete some accounts and take some stock in all of this, but they just make another account and come back and go to it again, or, they find a workaround. But the left is actively calling for violence. And if we respond with hopes and prayers and vigils, we're going to continually be in a lot of trouble. If people don't start stepping up and fighting back against these radicals who think they're the heroes of their own stories, they believe that some of them genuinely believe they're saving the country. They genuinely believe they're patriots. When they hate this country, they hate you, they hate the Constitution. They hate everybody that doesn't agree with their twisted, disgusting ideology. They're the heroes of their own story, and they don't care who they have to hurt or kill to do it. There's a line from the show Peacemaker, where he's playing a comic book character, and he says, I will achieve peace, and it doesn't matter how many people I have to kill in order to achieve peace. And the left, and it's obviously a contradictory statement. It's like, well, you're not achieving peace if you're killing a whole bunch of people. This is the statements that the left go by in their day-to-day life. It doesn't matter how many people we have to kill. We're going to or hurt or attack or whatever. Destiny has been coming on and saying the same thing too. He had this ridiculous statement where he said, it's because Trump became president that you're looking at all of this right now, and that Charlie Kirk was killed. If you guys hadn't voted Trump in, you wouldn't have as much violence. So what he's trying to suggest with that statement is that we shouldn't vote for who we want. We should vote for what the radical left nut jobs want, and that you will pay a price if you vote for the person they don't like. I mean, that's fascism. That is them being dictators, and they are so mentally ill and twisted that they actually think we're the fascists and they're fighting a righteous battle. That's how fucked up these people are. So they're going to ramp up the left-wing violence. I think the shooting of Charlie Kirk was a calling card for all of them, and the worst of the mentally ill in that group are going to answer the call and come forward. And we're responding with vigils and prayers and church and everything else. Okay, just don't say that I didn't warn you. I'm trying to warn people in my community, warn people online with this show, just in case you're not paying attention. You don't have the luxury to ignore it. I'm telling you, you don't. When it shows up at your door, it'll be too late, and you'll wish that you'd heeded some of the warnings. So that's the updates for today. Please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. It helps the show grow when you subscribe. Thanks, and I'll talk to everybody soon.